Good morning, community. Welcome to Stroke of Genius Show Survivor Experience. I got a really exceptional show for you today. What I think is exceptional. And I think anyone out there watching this live or the replay is going to really enjoy it. I got SLP Genevieve Richardson on the show today. In case you don't know who she is, she's a SLP, a speech language pathologist with passion. You know, there's something about somebody that finds their purpose in life. And I think Genevieve and myself, but Genevieve especially really found the purpose for her life. And it's to help us stroke survivors, to help us, whoever your brain injury survivors with speech deficit. So, without further ado, let me bring her on the show. Hold on.
Welcome to the Stroke of Genius Show, Survivor Experience. Now, here's your host, Erin Avila.
And there she is. Now she's wearing a cowboy hat. I must say, I knew she knew that I knew was a beaver pelt hat, which I know is a really good hat. But Genevieve, you are coming to us live from Texas.
Yes, sir. Austin.
Austin. Serious shout out to everybody in Austin. And introduce yourself, Genevieve.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Genevieve Richardson. And as Erin said, I'm a speech pathologist and I am on a mission. I'm on a mission to work with stroke survivors or any other neurologic condition that impairs speaking, listening, reading, writing, or thinking. So aphasia is that word that encompasses most of that. And I'm in private practice. And I have a second business where I'm going to be working directly with spouses, family members to help them also communicate. So if you're in my practice, that's one way you can work with me. And then the other way will be through what's called Life Aphasia Academy. That's where I'll be targeting stroke survivor families.
I love it. I mean, so many people, so many of our loved ones, which I'll be talking to you later because I found out you take insurance, you take Medi-Cal.
I take Medicare.
Medicare, excuse me, Medicare.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I meant Medicare. And I'm excited to start working with me because you can work with someone like me with dyslexia. So I'm
Yes,
looking
sir.
forward to it. I'm on pause for just a minute. And we get quite a few people watching, at least commenting.
I
Quite a few
love the
people.
comments. Keep them coming, everybody.
So Sherry Patterson, who's a client of yours, she's there. She's saying excited to be here.
Love it.
And of course, she says she loves you. Who doesn't?
Aw.
And there's a new audience member named Glenn.
Yep. I know them very, very well. They are in my practice.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that because I was not to butcher name. So, but sure, and to believe not, Jamie is from the United Kingdom or some foreign country like that. Jamie, I don't remember. Yeah, bro, I'm sorry. So if you could tell me in the chat where you're from, I don't remember. I'm pretty sure he's from South foreign country. But Genevieve, it's really exciting to hear you're going to be helping spouses, family members, and opening a side up because in the years I've been helping stroke survivors, there's very little caregiver support. There's very little support for, and I know that people, especially with the facial luxury, their spouse really only knows how to get frustrated. They don't know how to help them. They it's hard to communicate with somebody aphasia. So you're gonna plan on helping them, right?
Absolutely. I am here to bridge that gap between rehab and life, right? So many people, as you and I have talked about before, you get discharged from rehab, whatever level you were last at, and now you're out on your own.
Yeah,
Where's the support? It's like, hello, hello,
yeah.
there. If you're actively working with a therapist, you're getting some support. But what about the families that are not actively in therapy? How do they get that ongoing support and building a village? What I love that you do, Aaron, Stroke Media TV, Stroke of Genius, all these opportunities that you're providing to this community to connect with one another, to get rid of some of that isolation that invariably sets in after rehab.
That was it. Genevieve was isolation. We couldn't remember what the topic was, so we're gonna detour a little bit. We'll
Yeah,
talk about that in a minute, because that was the topic we were gonna talk about originally.
I know. We tell the story, Aaron.
Good, you talk better than I do. Go ahead.
Well, we met on FaceTime video on Monday night, and we were talking about what we wanted to talk about today. And we came up with some great ideas, and neither one of us wrote them down. And so last night we're like, what do you want to talk about tomorrow? So, but if there's questions, right? Can we open this up for questions at the end, Aaron, if there's time?
Absolutely. I've got Robert out there on LinkedIn. We got Robert on LinkedIn out there. We got and that's, he's a very active. He's a very big Stroke TV media supporter, and
Neat.
it's great to have you out there, Robert. Shout out to you,
Love.
Robert. Put in chat where you're located. We're curious where you're at. But this is also Bryce. He's North Carolina. Bryce, he calls himself Peanut, I guess.
I love it.
I call himself raisin, but anyway. Oh, I think Jeremy Matthews in England.
Ah, okay.
Now I'm curious.
Welcome.
You do telepractice.
I do.
Tell me, what is telepractice? Now, how does that benefit us?
Well, I'm going to start with the best part of telepractice. I can reach anybody anywhere in the world through Zoom. The beauty of telepractice is that if you need a specialist, whether it's a doctor, whether it's a mental health professional, whether it's, a financial advisor, you know, telepractice, the computer, the internet allows everyone to have access to these special people that they didn't have access to before. So I Zoom. I say that I'm Zooming from Austin, Texas. I'm licensed in multiple states. I have a couple of international clients. There's just not a limit. We are no longer limited by geography. So currently, Medicare covers telepractice for those who need medically necessary treatment. And what that means is, at least for a short period of time, we can do some key areas of communication and Medicare will cover it. There's some controversy coming because the public health emergency is ending officially next month. And so telepractice was not covered prior to the pandemic. It was private pay. So if you wanted to reach a therapist like myself, it was a private pay situation. So what we are hoping is that Medicare will permanently allow telepractice to be a viable opportunity for those who need service.
It really needs to be there, Snoop, but I'm really, really hoping it is because so many people, like us stroke survivors, have a mobility issue.
That's for sure.
And here's a plus of COVID, here's telepractice.
That's right.
And it's not just limited to speech people. You could talk to your doctor, you could talk to your attorney, you could talk to anybody on telepractice. But so I hope for your sake, Genevieve, and hope for the sake of our community that this stays alive, this becomes the norm. I really do.
It's just such a wonderful opportunity, particularly for me. I'll just speak to me and my practice in that I can do communication partner training with anybody's family member. And now we're not limited to people having to travel to an office. I can put as many people as I need to on a Zoom visit and do direct training with family for communication. So it's wonderful.
And that is why I really hope it stays, because that right there opens up a whole different world of therapy.
Absolutely.
Now, I guess you have a friend out here from Laverne Howard. She's in Texas.
Oh, welcome, Laverne. I
You don't know her.
Hill. I don't know Cedar Hill. I know Cedar Park. I don't know where Cedar Hill is in Texas. Well, welcome.
Yeah, welcome. We were talking earlier about what we want to talk about. And so we last night kind of did a thing focus on what you can do, what you can't do versus what you can't do. And we'll get through that. But I really want to focus on it. We just brought it up again. Because I think I just remembered what we discussed. Isolation. How stroke isolates you. And, for me, I can remember when I first had my stroke 8 years ago or 13 years ago. I remember laying on my bed, isolated. There's nothing more puts a person in prison, so to speak, in their own body than stroke. So I feel isolated. So what is your opinion as your clinician? What would you say what are some strategies that we can use to overcome isolation?
Well, I think first off, you need a person to help advocate for you, whether it's a spouse, a neighbor, a friend. And I think you have to start thinking, what's the first step to getting out of the house? And maybe not thinking it's going from being isolated in a bed to going to garden club. There's little steps in between that that a person can take, just getting out of the house and going to get a cup of coffee and coming home. Making small ventures out to build wins, because going from isolation, as you have attested to before, Aaron, it's hard to take that first step. But if you have success with that first step, then you can take another step and build on it. Build your confidence, work with if you have a spouse or a friend that you can practice talking. Communication is not just talking. Communication is your body language, your facial expression. You can have things written down. You can have pictures with you. If there's a certain cup of coffee you want to order from 7-Eleven, or whatever, you want to go to Starbucks, why not have it written down and show it to the person at the register? That is still a win. Sharing a smile with that cashier, showing them the piece of paper with your order on it, and then eventually getting your cup of coffee, that's a win. And I think So many of the folks I work with feel like they've got to go from 0 to 100 or it's not success. I argue it's the small things that are the win.
Yeah, Genevieve, I've not always been this like in the camera. I can remember when isolation tried to keep me locked in my bedroom and in my bed. I told my mentor at the time, Roland Takaoka, I told him, I said, I can't live stream him. I got a speech deficit. And this is pretty improved compared to what it used to be. I used to be where I was a bumbling, couldn't understand a lot of what I can watch how excited I get. But you could not understand what I was saying pretty much. Probably I only understood about 30% when I first had my stroke and started to speak again. So isolation, the fear of being out in front of people, kept me
It's
wanted to keep me locked in. But I want to encourage you, stroke survivor, you're out there. You're locked in, or you're locked in your bedroom, or locked into your house, whatever. Go outside.
That's a great
Start
step.
uh, yeah, first step. And Genevieve, the reason I brought that because I think you hit it right on the head. I picture stroke kind of like a staircase. There's the bottom tread and there's the top tread. Our stroke pain a lot of times want to go from the bottom to the top.
Yeah.
Uh, it's a stroke pain thing. I don't know what it is. There's those steps. But the true anything I've accomplished in my life, like build stroke TV media or whatever I do, you have to take steps. And I forget that all the time.
Breaking big tasks into small tasks. If you're isolated in your bed, first things get to the living room. Next thing, get out the front door. If you've got a front porch or a back porch or a front yard or a backyard, start there. Wave at a neighbor. Initiate. Initiate. Hard as hell.
Yeah, scary.
It is scary, frightening, terrifying. I mean, these are all words that my clients and their families talk to me about, but we have to take small steps.
Well, I think the hardest thing is there's a insecurity, if you will, stroke gives you. I mean, I was a guy before my stroke that could pretty much do anything. I was an certified open water diver. I was an avid fisherman. I love the outdoors, and there is a fear that occurs. There's a barrier, but that barrier, I'm telling you, people, is in your mind. It really is. The biggest wall, I'm telling you, you've got to climb stroke survivor in this life of stroke survival. Is the wall you build in your own mind. Like Jen Feet just said. And I smiled inside, waved at the neighbor, step one. Go sit on the porch, step one. Just take those small steps. And I'll start overcoming that fear and start climbing the walls that you built in your mind. Because I assure you, I guarantee you, it's in your own mind.
So, what would you say, Aaron? What would you say to someone who has been isolated in their house for 6 months? Maybe they don't have, an advocate for them, somebody that comes in all the time. Where would they start? What would you say?
Well, I think the cornerstone makes stroke TV media different. See, I believe, as CEO of stroke TV media, that the foundation, the very core of survival and finding life after stroke is you've got to start your mind. You've got to start with the mindset because that's going to get you out of the bedroom and get you down the hall into the living room, waving at the neighbor. Is starting with your mindset.
Mhm. And
So,
that's for everything.
uh,
The reason we hear about mindset all the time I consume a lot of I follow a lot of entrepreneurs. I follow a lot of people in the stroke community and the neuro community in general. Everybody is talking about mindset. And sometimes that is like you said, it's the walls people have built in their own mind that they have to overcome.
Yeah, I think probably I would have to say I've been serving the stroke community now for 8 years, pretty much. And I would say the biggest thing in stroke survivors' life is their mindset. It is what keeps them isolated. What keeps them not becoming finding their life after stroke is they believe that they're worthless. They believe that they have no value. They believe that speech deficit will limit them, but it's not true. It to me, to me, I call it stroke is a liar. It lies to people.
Hmm. It's a really interesting idea.
Because it really does lie to people and tell them that pretty much have no value. I still look. I'm not saying that's easy. I didn't want to confuse that first what Genevieve was talking about. Getting the whole waving to the neighbor, going to the store with your wife, your husband, or whatever. It's not gonna be easy. What I've done and what you see today is not what it used to be. I used to be in bed, suicidal. I mean, I'm dark. So what you see today is what it really comes down to mindset.
And finding a community. I call it a village. Doesn't matter what you call it, but what you've been creating, Aaron, these 8 years is that community of support. And if I can add just one other thing beyond uh, in that community, if you're gonna complain, that's fine. There's that venting part. But eventually, you need to take a step past that. You need to help figure out what is that step to get past venting and start putting some action to it. Because the longer you wallow, and it's legitimate, this is probably not coming across how I intend it to, but I follow several communities on Facebook, and so many people they just want to wallow and they don't want to do anything. So if somebody offers them a suggestion, they shut that door. I did if I can say right now, Aaron, on Instagram, I've been doing I'm in day 19 of 30 days of gratitude. I stepped out of my comfort zone to start learning how to make the reels to put on Instagram because I have to get out of my comfort area so that I can reach more people, to bring them to you, to bring them to these other support groups. To again, it's not my village, it's the village, right, for stroke survivors. So my clip today was about walking through every door. Don't slam the door on somebody. So if somebody offers you something, a piece of advice, or they want to have a minute of your time to talk on the phone, or they want to Zoom with you, don't shut them down. Take that as an opportunity to get out of your comfort zone and start that conversation. Because you don't know who's on that other side that can turn into more support for you down the road. I try to make sure that I don't shut these doors. I had someone reach out as I'm putting myself out there on social media. I'm getting all sorts of basically solicitation kind of interactions. Oh, I'm a marketer, I'm a blah blah, whatever, offering me their services. And there was one gentleman that reached out to me, and I shut that door hard. And mostly it was because I was overwhelmed with just what I was doing. I didn't need to schedule one more meeting or, do one more thing in addition. And then about 30 minutes after I sent that message back to him, I'm like, what am I doing? Why did I just slam that door? So I got back on the messaging and apologized. And I said, I'm willing to listen. When do you want to meet? And we spent 15 minutes and it was a good conversation. And I got a new perspective about something that I didn't know much about. That is my example of I slammed the door, but then I reopened it. And it was worth my time. It was worth my energy to have that conversation.
Yeah, that is a great example. I think for our stroke community, I want to make clear. I believe, Genevieve, everybody, we have 5.4 over 5.4 thousand members in a stroke support group.
That's awesome.
But yeah, but I see that only because there's only about 10, 15 that are active. The rest just read the messages. But what I'm saying is there's a wall.
Okay.
There's a wall that almost stroke survivors feel, and they just bounce off it. They just, I can't do it. I can't do it. But I'm here to tell you, stroke survivor, that you are made. You're here for a reason.
I agree.
Genevieve is here to help you. I'm here to help you. But you are here for a reason. And it's not just sit isolated by yourself in the room waiting to die. I'm going to tell you what your purpose in life is. This is true for every human being on earth, but especially true for stroke survivors. Your purpose is serve. Your purpose is to help us, a fellow man. You have so many people out there struggling with stroke survival. They feel isolated, like Genevieve and I are saying, they feel isolated and alone. But if only if you climb that wall of I can't do this, and you start singing, you start taking a chance and being what's the word I'm looking for? Being assertive. Put yourself out there. Don't listen to the fear. I gotta take a side note. Courage.
Courage.
Courage is doing what scares you, but you do it anyway, even though you're afraid. That's what courage is. So I'm calling all stroke survivors around the world to take courage. Get courage. Put yourself out there and begin to help a fellow stroke survivor.
Aaron, I just had an idea pop in my head for your community. And you're saying like there's 10 active people, but you've got more than 5,000 that are just reading the messages. What if there's a challenge? The challenge is for everybody in your group to at least post, hello, I live in Austin, Texas. Hello, I'm a survivor, 3 years in Houston. Just initiate. I think it would be that would be an amazing first step.
I think that's awesome. Now, I know this is going to be strange. If you're not a member of Second Chance Stroke Survivors, the community, because I don't look as members. I know Facebook calls them members. I look as more of a community, a tribe of people, of stroke survivors, because generally there's nobody can understand me as stroke survivor than another stroke survivor. And that's what makes our ability to help each other so powerful. But like Genevieve said, I challenge you right now, stroke survivor. You member of Second Chance Stroke Survivors, post one post a week. I don't
There you
just say
go.
something, say hello, say something. But I want to see us become activated. This show should be packed with thousands of viewers, not just 5. I mean, really, it should be there. No, I think that challenge. I appreciate that. I'm gonna take that to heart because that challenge did take place.
If everybody could say hi, maybe where they're from, Even start liking people's posts, right? You can do that quick reply to somebody's post or give them a thumbs up or a happy face, something, because I think we have to break that mold. I'm a lurker. I've done it, right? We're all on lots of Facebook pages. And you just watch and you don't interact because you're afraid. You're afraid of how someone's going to interact. But I challenge everyone, say hello, put yourself out there a little bit. And then everybody welcome them in. Those who can type more, bring them, pull them into the fold. Start a conversation if you can.
That is
Got a
true.
topic.
Right.
Let's find some topic, some more. So this is what I'm always interested. I want to know what the stroke survivor community needs. We cover a lot of topics, right, Aaron? But these needs, they shift, it ebbs, it flows. What do you want to know about? Who's a guest that, Aaron should interview or I should interview? What kind of information do you need? What resources do you need? We can do this so much easier if we do it together.
Wow, that's just inspiring me. No, and that's got me pumped. I mean, it's really, people that don't know, Genevieve, you've been sitting here for a purpose. I don't believe there's any mistakes. But in life, I think there's God, whatever you want to call him. I think there are no mistakes. Genevieve's here, and I agree with her completely. We are a community. We are a tribe. We can help each other. And I'm going to be doing challenges. I'm going to be talking to Genevieve later about the ideas. Yeah, so the show is only supposed to be half an hour. We're not. I
Are
said,
you cutting me off, Aaron?
no, I'm not. I'm doing the opposite. I think as long as I see the chat moving, we're going to keep going. Do you have time? You keep
I
going.
do. I do. I've got 28 more minutes until my next appointment. So
Well,
if
perfect.
you're good, I'm good. And if anybody has questions, comments, I can see the comments when they come in too. Aaron can pop them up on the screen. Where do you want to go next, Aaron?
Well, I think I'm going to go back a little bit to that feeling of isolation because anything that I could do to put out my hand to a stroke survivor in isolation. It's not just me, it's not just Genevieve, it's anybody that is out there part of the tribe or community can reach a hand out to a fellow stroke survivor in need.
Yes.
Right? I mean, it's not just us, just because you're a clinician. I'm not. But although I am a professional stroke survivor, but it's not just us with people like Genevieve and I, it's you.
Mhm. So the people in your community, the folks we have responding in the chat right now while we're on live, you all have skills and knowledge and the ability to reach out to somebody else. If you know somebody, sometimes just saying hello to someone that you know is lurking in the background goes a long way. Maybe that's the first step to breaking that isolation wall. Ooh, can we use that analogy? Can we
Ooh,
do an
yeah.
isolation wall? Let's get rid of it. Let's melt it. Let's break it. You guys pick a verb. Pick your favorite verb for getting rid of that isolation wall.
Yeah, it's funny. You're probably too young for this, but there was a show called Get Smart, and he had an isolation. He used to go over him so people could not hear him, and that is what we need to break out of. Stroke survivors time. It's time.
Mhm.
Now, here, I don't know what paired means. I
I don't know why that popped up either. Hi, Dee. We see you.
Joker's a liar. It's so true. I mean, I was Genevieve, when I first had my stroke, until I met global based celebrity Jeffrey Hazlett, that lie, I wasn't valuable. I was too messed up to help people. I was too much messed up to be a good husband. I mean, all these lies began to flood my mind. And that's why I think mindset is so important. Because you need to get back. That is the first step. If you want to do anything that will change your life, stroke survivor, change your mindset. Change the way you think of stroke. In fact, I don't know if you've ever watched Dwayne Dyer, but Dwayne Dyer is a spiritual leader.
Okay.
And he tells people to change the way you look at things, and the things you look at will change.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to repeat it because I want you guys to listen after your stroke. Because I listen hard to this. Change the way you look at your stroke, and your life will change. The exterior things will begin to change.
Hmm.
And so I'm just saying right now, the challenge is start with the mindset. In fact, if you go to Stroke TV Media on YouTube, first subscribe, and then there you look for and go to the playlist, and you will see a mindset series I did. There's two playlists I recommend on Stroke TV Media. Number one, mindset. We did a 3-part series on mindset. So look for this series of mindset. The second playlist I'd recommend on Stroke TV Media YouTube channel is self-love. Because that's one that we battle with big time as stroke survivors. Because again, stroke lies to us, tells you we're not worthy of being loved, we're not valuable, but the opposite is untrue, it's a lie.
One thing that I'm very conscious of with my clients is that we talk about identity.
Mm.
Identity and mindset, right? But I don't know which one I start with. It depends on where they are, and I can't tell you what my formula is. I just feel it. But when I start working with someone, we have to start looking at identity. And you said a key thing a little bit ago, Aaron, about you're here for a reason. There was a reason you survived your stroke, and your new identity can be figuring out what you're gonna do about it.
Oh, love that.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it? And you may not know right away, but that is a bit of a mindset shift, right? Like, "Oh, I'm here for a purpose." Well, let me start exploring and figure that out. When I started my practice, Aaron, I did not need to start this practice. I was coasting. I had a great work-life balance, and then I started the practice, and it tipped the other way. But I'm happy to say I'm working every day to try and get back to that work-life balance because I can't help people if I'm not taking care of myself. That is something else you all need to pay attention to. Are you doing things that are sabotaging your efforts at breaking that wall of isolation? Are you sabotaging yourself from finding out why you're here and what you can do about it? Are you getting enough rest? Are you getting the nutrition you need? I know I'm kind of going off target here, but it all ties in together, doesn't it, Aaron?
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up because that is something I have wrestled with for 8 years now. I felt like helping. So I have a vision, Genevieve. Stroke TV Media will become the world global hub for stroke survivors around the world. I mean, that's what I picture Stroke TV Media becoming.
Yes.
But do I do my therapy like I should? Do I do nutrition like I should? No. So I'm going to take that as God speaking to me, and then in through you, and I'll just absorb that.
Small steps, right, Aaron? Pick
Right.
one thing to focus on. Again, we're not trying to go from 0 to 100. We're not starting down here and trying to get to the top of the staircase. If you want your nutrition to be better, then eat a vegetable at dinner tonight, right? And go, check, I did it. And then do it again tomorrow night and build on those small wins. If you need to drink more water, I'm guilty of it myself. I sit here all day. All day I sit here. I have to, if I keep water here, I drink it. But if I don't put it here, I don't do it. So again, small wins.
And that rings so true to what I've been thinking. That's amazing. I'm so glad you're here because sometimes, like I told you earlier, our stroke brains tend to go from the bottom of the stairs, want to get right to the top threshold without going each step in between. So today, I hope I can begin to do this one step like a saying. Like, yeah, I want to be more nutritious. I want to drink more water. Well, when I think about that, I think about drinking 5 big pitchers of water in that. Oh, I can't do that.
Right.
Well, right, but if I was like you just said, and I realize how important it is. If I just drink 1 glass of water more today, I did yesterday, I'm on the right track.
That's right. Write it down.
Well,
My
but
big successes are the ones that I write down. So I keep note cards. I keep them right here. Yes, I collect a lot of them. When I'm organized, I put it in a notebook. But if I that is a way to take what's rolling around in your head and kind of committing to it. Write down, I'm going to drink 1 more glass of water every day. Or for me, I'm going to keep my water bottle filled here. Every 2 visits, I'm going to go fill it up. Commit, write it down, tell somebody else, because when it rolls around in your head, it's much harder to follow through with. So you commit to it. And if you don't succeed one day, don't beat yourself up. Just get back on the horse.
yeah, that is so
We
awesome.
persecute ourselves. Aaron, I do it. I have plenty. I have plenty of things I have to work on myself, and it is a work in process. And I think we all need a little bit of grace.
Man, I think Genevieve, that's so awesome. I'm so glad you said that. So today's church survivor, take a minute to do one little thing that you know what it is. I don't need to know,
That's right.
but I guarantee you know what your thing is. That you have the biggest fear over, that you have the base wall built. So just take a little chip at it. Just take a little chink at it and go for that little change. Like Genevieve just said, if it's hydration, put a glass of water on your desk. From now on, I'm gonna always have a glass of water on my desk. And I'm gonna start there. You may not drink it every day or every minute or whatever, but you're starting with it one step, put that water in front of you. So Genevieve, we're 10 minutes over, 15 minutes over. I can't thank you enough. I hope we do this again sometime. I really enjoyed myself. Thank you
And
so much.
anytime.
Now, before we leave, tell people what you're doing with first of all, if you're out there, first of all, look for Life Speech Pathology channel on Stroke TV Media on Facebook. Like your page.
Please.
You do live every Thursday, right?
I do. So I think this is going to be week 5 or week 6. So tomorrow, you can watch it through Facebook, Life Speech Pathology Show or Life Speech Pathology. And So live show, and I'm interviewing a stroke survivor tomorrow who wrote a book. And I think he's going to have some more insights for us about how he has found his purpose.
That really, I mean, that's what life is finding purpose. I mean, you found your purpose. I found mine. Everybody out there has a purpose.
Yes.
Let, let me put this comment up. Can you read this comment?
Yes, this has been so inspirational. I'm definitely sharing this with my stroke surviving husband. Yesterday, he took independent steps alone. I want him to know that he can take another step today. Yes, yes.
Oh God.
Gave me chills, D.
Yeah, we do. It's yeah.
Love it. No, and everybody can do it. This is what we want, right? For Aaron, this is what we want. Small steps on that challenge. Reach out, and why don't you somewhere in your stroke communities say what you're going to work on? Not for accountability per se, but for you mentally to commit to doing something better for yourself. Something as small as another glass of water.
You know, Genevieve, I can't thank you enough for being here, and I'm really glad. So that, what time is your show tomorrow?
Tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Daylight Time. And I also have a podcast, the Listen for Life podcast. So the live show happens this week and it feeds to the podcast the next week. Check out Do Life, speechpathology.com. There's a reason I picked my company to be Life, because it is about doing life, right, Aaron?
It really is. You can find life after stroke, no
That's
doubt.
right. Thank you, Aaron. This is so
But
much fun. Let's do it again. Hope I didn't talk too much. Well, I'm
you,
having to
you,
talk
you,
business.
you, like I told you before, privately, you're natural. I think again, as you and I begin to stay in the lane, you were going to see things change in a big way. And I want you, a survivor, no matter where you're at, get hold of Genevieve or myself. Get hold. You need a quality SLP series language to help get hold of Genevieve. What's the best way, Genevieve, people can get hold of you?
The easiest way, go straight to my website, dolifespeechpathology.com. You can reach out on social media. I'm out on there too. But go straight through the website. My email's on there, my phone numbers are on there. Reach out. You are not alone. You are loved. You are supported. Reach out.
No, I'm curious. What is it? Can you give a business phone number you can put out on the air right now?
Sure. Be happy to. Area code 512-553-4364. That's my office line, and you can also text directly to that number. So call, voicemail, text, and you will get me right here.
All right. She's a real person, people. You know, I can't virtual audience without your help, without you being here, part of our community. We would not be doing what we do. So thank you to all audience members. Remember, we're every Wednesday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 Central, 12 noon Eastern. We're live streaming on every Wednesday, and then remember, Genevieve's show is every Thursday night. It's every Thursday night.
Tomorrow, same time
We-
as Aaron's, just one day later.
Genevieve, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that, honey.
I appreciate you, Aaron. Everybody have a fantastic day.
Bye, everybody. Remember, take that little step today, people. Bye, Genevieve.